show, tomorrow 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 show. Oh yeah, yeah, good, yeah. You got that singer. You gotta sing that live, right? Oh shit, that's probably good. Woo!
The Tomorrow Show.
That's awesome. Oh man, I love it. I love it.
Hi.
Welcome.
This is The Tomorrow Show, and I'm Erin D.
I'm Mike V, and we're so glad to have you here. First and foremost, we want to say happy birthday to AC. Happy birthday, AC. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, AC, our lovely co-host, co-creator. You're the man. Happy birthday to you. Hope you're having fun at Riot Fest, everybody, and being safe. If you're in Chicago going to Riot Fest, seeing shows, AC is out there. See if you can spot him and tell him happy birthday. He does a lot for a lot of people. So, excellent dude. He deserves to have the best birthday week, birthday month, whatever he wants. So, he'll be back with us on the next show. But you will see a little bit of his adventures at the end of today's show, which is pretty cool. So, you get that to look forward to. So, how are you, honey?
I'm okay. I'm all right. How are you?
Good. This is our second episode. So, if you missed the first episode, know that the broadcast is available. It's on the Hope for Us Network's Twitch channel, which you're viewing right now. So stay on that dial, tell your friends, watch the other programs that are available. Some really cool stuff happening to meet the topic of mental health at all the intersections, because it's every day and it's everybody. And it's been pretty stressful leading up to what is our 1-year wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
So this is my partner, Erin. Last year we were supposed to be married. We were married.
Yeah.
Check it out. She put a ring on it. I mean, vice versa. We put a ring on it. But ultimately didn't get to do what we wanted to do. We had planned a really kind of complicated but special and personal to us, I would say untraditional.
Yes. Very, quite untraditional.
Unconventional, untraditional.
Very
personal.
meaningful.
And individualized, because we have a unique circumstance, just like a lot of people. So we need to give that grace to people going about their day each and every day. You don't really know, you know about this much on the surface, and then there's this whole iceberg below of what might be happening in their lives. And, you know, for some of us, unfortunately, that means more complicated stressors that we've had to learn to cope with. For us, it has been the health of our parents. And since we couldn't risk that at all, we couldn't travel to be near her parents like we had planned. My parents couldn't travel to be near her parents either. And so now we are bearing down on our 1-year anniversary, the autumnal equinox, because we like nature, because nature
is awesome.
It is amazing. So are you.
Yeah.
And so, yes, 3 days we will have locked in the 1-year paper anniversary. Paper, right?
In a pandemic.
In a pandemic. Paper.
Yeah, each anniversary of marriage has a like traditional an element that goes along with it. So
like
number one,
well, paper's not an element. It's
no,
like carbon. It's made of carbon.
Yeah.
I'm getting too technical, but
well, so like
a material that
later
is representative
on, like later on there's like
silver,
diamond or silver,
gold.
Yeah.
Our point is that 1 year of marriage has felt like a lot of years of marriage, because it's been a very trying year.
Which we used to say because we felt like we knew each other so well so quickly. So we used to say that our love was
In dog years.
So it kind of continues.
Yeah. So, anybody out there that got married during this pandemic, you get to take a couple extra years. Your paper anniversary, and then the next couple, whatever you deem whatever's appropriate for you and the challenges you face this year. So, but this is a long roundabout way to help you get to know us a little bit more, because we're new to this community on Twitch. We want to be part of it, and we want to learn from you all. And we want to invite you all to the conversation, to the party, to the meeting of the minds, so we can make sure that we are adding positivity, adding helpful things to the world. And by talking about our challenges over the past year, and what we're trying to do to redeem a trip that never was, a wedding that we had planned that didn't get to take place. The point of that is not to be a bummer, but to talk about resilience, to talk about hope for us. And we've pressed on. For the last month or so, we were concerned that the wildfires were going to creep in and consume, and maybe take away this opportunity to go to Lake Tahoe.
Well, not only that, was the air was so bad all over the west.
Yeah.
That it was like, should we even do this?
Yeah. And it was like deja vu.
Fun, yeah.
Nightmarish deja vu of last year, trying to make these decisions, these very difficult decisions about, well, this is for us. Is this selfish? Are we doing something selfish right now by trying to force a party or whatever like that? So we've had to have grace with ourselves too, because yes, we do deserve a little vacation. And yes, we do deserve to go to that house and trying to make the most of it, even though our parents can't be there with us. In some ways, you don't always get to choose how things go down, no matter how much you plan. And that bouncing back from those types of crushing disappointment and loss and grief, it's difficult. It's not easy.
Rolling with the punches.
That's what builds resiliency, that bouncing back, that pushing on till tomorrow, to focus on those small things, those little things that get us through to tomorrow, because some days just it piles on, doesn't it? So
who else is going to come with us?
Well, my sister's going to come. My sister, I'll talk more about that in a second, because me and my sister got to do the variety show at Burlington, and amazing comedian, amazing writer, but more importantly, an amazing sister, great friend, and an amazing daughter. And we're going to get to have her there, my long-time collaborator and songwriter since we were born. Basically, me and Chris, my cousin Chris, are going to be able to see each other again.
They're like brothers.
His wife Amanda,
my brother.
They live in North Carolina, so you're gonna see your brother Amanda,
my brother,
your brother Ian, and his wife Amanda. I'm gonna see my brother Chris and his wife Amanda.
Our best friend who married us last year. She's
Aaliyah,
the one who made it so special.
Really did, and then Frank, her husband, and
other friends. But who's coming on the road with us? That's what I meant.
Who's coming on the road with us?
Who's behind you?
Yeah. Well, Minnie's coming on the road with us.
I don't know if you can see her, but her tongue is sticking out right now.
She got her tongue sticking out. She's chilling. She's doing Sunday right. She skipped coffee. She's like, I'm not having coffee today because I'm chilling.
Not getting out of bed.
I'm chilling. And she has an overbite, so her tongue falls out when she's really relaxed. And it's cute. It's cute as can be. So,
yeah.
Happy anniversary, honey.
Yeah, so I just like, here's a whole graph of all the things. So
wedding anniversaries.
Yeah, so like here's the first 5 years.
This is interesting.
Paper, cotton, leather, silk or linen, wood, and then you get into like iron, copper, bronze. But some of them are like
Are they symbolic of strength?
maybe
The materials, like, because
But-
paper is 1 year, you can just tear that easy.
maybe
Cotton, you got it's fibrous, you can pull it apart. I know that's kind of like negative. That's a
yeah.
negative
So
take on it.
60 years
Is
is
diamond the hardest mineral?
and that's like your grandparents are even past that.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, they're
Right? They're
they're
at-
in the 92 plus category,
So
So-
they've been married like
70.
70 something years,
and they ran out of materials to celebrate their anniversary.
There probably is some somewhere, but
That's pretty amazing.
so you get into those ones, and then there's even modern ones too. There's traditional modern, and then there's flowers.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Year one is orange blossom. Maybe
Orange
we
blossoms.
could find some
We'll
orange
find some
blossoms.
orange blossoms. We'll make it special. Maybe we'll float them out on the cool blue waters of Lake Tahoe.
There we go.
We're really struggling with how we would commemorate such a special thing. A 1/1 million-year anniversary.
When we didn't really get to have like
Yeah.
a
We rolled with the punches. We created a special ceremony thanks to our friends and my sister, and our parents were able to Zoom, and they're like right up in the business,
Yeah,
like
that was-
on a little screen, right in our business while we were doing the ceremony.
Thank goodness for modern
Yeah.
technology.
Well, speaking of the grandparents, they were able to Zoom as well because my grandpa's a badass 92, 93-year-old dude just rocking the technology and has really set a great example for other people that look up to him like myself, because Big Nick's like my idol, to keep learning. Never, ever, ever stop learning. Can't teach a old dog new tricks. Bullshit, I say. Bullshit.
Yeah. We have that in both our families. It's good.
Keep on learning. And so that was really cool because they got to be there. We did a very symbolic tying of the knot. I'm actually going to grab that. Can I grab it real fast to show people?
Yeah, it's right there.
And would you tell them a little bit about what that is about?
So it's like a Celtic tradition. We both have Irish, English, I'm Scottish ancestry. So you tie a knot
See that?
kind of together. So his sister helped us tie it around our hands, and then we pulled the cord kind of together.
And made this cool infinity kind of.
And we chose blue and green cords for different symbolic reasons that we talked about in the ceremony. And
It's pretty cool.
yeah, someday we'll do something
hand
cool
fasting,
with it.
right? Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, well, people used to hand fast. They
We put
would
our
be
hands
like
like that?
They would be like this
Blah,
all
blah, blah.
night long, like
Wait,
all
Tied
night,
together?
tied together,
For real?
like through the wedding, through the reception,
That is commitment.
until they like left for the night. And so we didn't do that, but yeah.
And I'm just gonna, even though it's corny, I'm gonna spill a little beans here. You guys know the show Outlander? Well, we love it. If you
Yeah.
don't know it, check it out. A great mixture of historical fiction, sci-fi, and some romance. But anyway, there was a hand fasting dealie in there. But you might remember it from like other films like Braveheart or stuff like that, where, it's just like a piece of fabric. Maybe it was a special piece of fabric from your family. We considered doing that. But then
Don Lumps, I have no idea what they do when they have to go to the bathroom. No idea. Maybe they help each other. Maybe that's part
they
of it.
support.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can go to the bathroom.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
that's a
or
good
like
question.
dancing. Ugh.
I mean, it would be slightly annoying. I don't want to be the humbug,
Naysayer. Yeah.
the romance humbug.
Yeah.
But now a bum hug on the other hand, that would be a butt hug. Maybe.
That's funny.
Anyway, just wanted to kind of honor that this amazing person has stood by me since we met, and this last year, despite all its challenges, it's been amazing to grow together. And
No, neither of us are the easiest people. So.
well, when you live with somebody that struggles with mental illness,
yeah,
it's fraught with some volatility when things are stressful.
Well, so like I didn't know that I had like an anxiety sort of disorder, right? Anxiety disorder.
Sure.
And until I was an adult, and then it was like, oh, that's what all those feelings are when I'm in a social situation, or when I'm feeling stressed out, or when I am kind of scared of being sick, or lots of different things.
For sure.
And so I didn't know.
I bet a lot of people relate to that.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of kids these days that are taught, like, oh, you're feeling this, we can do this. But coping skills. But I wasn't taught those things. So for me, there's a lot of like identifying what I'm feeling as anxiety. And then once I can identify it, I can be like, oh, but sometimes I'm so like anxious or worked up, but it comes off as like aggravated, or it comes off in certain ways. And so I think as an adult, I'm still trying to identify those things. Yeah. And so like that's part of it too.
It's a powerful thing, that spongy looking masterpiece that we all have that connects us, no matter our creed or our politics or our geography or our ethnicity or any of that, our gender, our sexual expression, any of that, is this brain, this magnificent organ that runs the show for everything else. The nervous system, the creation and production of our hormones, and how those manifest as things that we now have names for when they're not in balance, or how they manifest as just human emotions that are part of flying around on this crazy orb in the middle of space with all this life and evolution and all that. So I really think that at the end of the day, it's important to understand that when you're living with someone, you get to see all of them, and you have to love them in spite of the things that might feel like you got personally attacked when it's not about you. And learning that in a marriage, learning that in a partnership, is no small task, but it's absolutely a worthy task, a task that makes you better, a task that completes all these blind spots you might have. Because I didn't grow up the same as Erin. Erin didn't grow up the same as me. So to understand that there are these activators, these triggers, pardon the word if you're not a fan of it, that might not have anything to do with the moment, but they have activated something from your past, something from your experience that maybe hurt you and never was given the salve, never was given the care, never was given the focused attention to try to like kind of heal that thing up.
Yeah.
It's way easier to kind of run away or like try to put it out of your head. Something that I'm still doing with some of the recent events that have taken place that have hurt me, So doing that together though has been really, really special, because I've definitely gone through similar moments where I've been at the edge of my mental capacity, and the stress is breaking me, and I've had no one there, and I have had to figure it out myself, or I've had to figure out, wait, I do have people there, but I have to actually let them know I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
When you live with somebody, it's kind of like pretty obvious when I'm having a hard time, and I'd say maybe you're You're pretty obvious too. You but I don't want to speak for you. I just
think
know
so,
that
too.
I get aggravated and start to be a person that I don't like. I start to be very short and frustrated and just this ball of aggravation. And I feel like there's a lot of darkness that's been building up inside that has gotten to that overflowing point, right? The capacity that we've been talking about. So, and I can't hide it very well. So, nor should I. Nor should we.
Yes.
That's the shit that gets us down in the dumps in a deep, deep, dark place where it's hard to reach up, even to, throw a grappling hook over the edge and be like, yo, I'm struggling down here. So, happy anniversary. I know that it's not been like a honeymoon yet, and it's not been a honeymoon type year, but we were already kind of married. I should have done it a couple years ago. I should have, could have, would have.
What can you do?
What can you do? So
roll with the punches.
Roll with the punches. And
or my favorite is So It Goes.
So It Goes. It goes.
Who's that from?
Kurt Vonnegut. Yes? Is that who you're referencing?
You got it.
Kurt Vonnegut's, man, my favorite author. So, So it goes. Sometimes you just got to roll with it. So we're going to roll with it, and we're going to talk about some of the current news.
Yeah.
Some of the current news in a segment that we debuted last week or 2 weeks ago on our first program, our first episode, The Good, the Bad, and the Helpers. We're going to talk about some stuff that's happening right now in our community related to a very special organization. I would say the realest organization in recent times that I've come across.
In Chicago.
Doing a lot. Not talking about doing a lot, but doing a lot. And not kind of restricting the help they can offer to just starting conversations about mental health, but also providing food and basic necessities, job training, resources of that nature, being as intersectional as you can possibly be. And so we're going to be honoring this organization and their founder, Christopher Lamarck, a little bit today, who was going to be here sitting on the porch with us having a conversation. But you'll understand in just a few minutes why that was not possible today. So we're going to start off this segment, The Good, the Bad, and the Helpers, with a small video highlighting this special shop spearheading a very cool initiative, Normalized Therapy. So, network, if you will roll the tape. This is Broadway. It's 3243 North Broadway. It was hopping, as you can see. They did a special photo shoot, part of the Lakeview Art Fair that was happening outside. Unite Chicago. Got 100 diverse models together to wear those very cool mocha.
So these are all so those are the
Christmas in September. Yeah, very cool boxes.
Over on the left of the screen was like the goals that they had set, and then what they've met already. Talking about a nice squishy brain.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, actually, Network, can you pause the video so we can look at that brain for just a moment? Thank you, Network.
Oh, cool.
You're amazing, Network. So, as you can see, some really important, powerful words embodying a really important message. He's got the pain in there. He's got the coffee in there. Grow, empathy, maybe the most critical component of us beginning to understand each other in this community and learning together to transform mental health. You got learn in there. You got heal. You got love. You got hip hop, of course.
And
you got
help.
Peace and help. Yeah. peace can only come if we're able to ask for help. And a lot of us are robbed of peace because of stigma, creating situations where we don't think we can ask for help, and therefore that continuously produces pain, and it can really just really ruin kind of our thoughts about ourselves and our thoughts about our community and our thoughts about the future. So thank you, network, if you want to keep rolling. And then there's another nice brain with a graduation hat.
That's from Normalized Therapy University.
So they usually always have a therapist at their discussions, and they tackle different topics.
It'll be like themed every time.
And they have an emphasis on Black and Brown communities of Chicago, normalizing therapy there and uniting what is a bunch of small cities.
True. I will, man.
Stay true. So here's a message from Chris.
The founder of Coffee Hip Hop and Mental Health, and I'm here at 3243 North Broadway, where we originally built like the People's Coffee Shop, and now we're officially closed, and we're actually getting ready to build a bigger coffee shop at 1051 West Belmont. I'm so excited. But here's the thing, I learned a lot about what it means to be a leader, what battles to fight, what battles not to fight, when to speak and when to be quiet. So this season, this chapter is over, and we're ready to continue to build. So if you want to continue to support us, go ahead and text donate.ntu21 to 77948 as we say goodbye to this space and welcome our new coffee shop in mid-November. You can meet us now at 944 West North Avenue at Lululemon. Let's go.
Yeah. So
you can follow them on lots of different Instagram. They have Normalized Therapy. They have Coffee Hip Hop Mental Health. They have the People's Coffee Shop, and those
People's
all
Food
have,
Drive.
Yeah, they all have all that information you need.
And it's pretty cool that while they are transitioning to build out their new, larger space at 1051 West Belmont, which the strangest thing, it used to be like a campaign headquarters for Illinois' governor, and it looks like a beautiful space, and it looks like they're already well ahead of schedule.
It looks big.
Yeah, well, with all the volunteers and the community coming together, and the great organization and delegation that happens with that team, they've been able to move all the stuff, break down the bar, use those pieces to rebuild at the new spot. And it's amazing the timing that Lululemon stepped up. I mean, Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health as an organization has gotten some pretty serious press. In a short amount of time. We met Chris right around the first anniversary of the organization, and we helped Chris feed 100 families.
We met him last June?
It was definitely last June, and we've been able to continue to learn together, and it's been really great to watch it grow. And the Obama Foundation shouted out, and Today's Show shouted out, and now the Tomorrow Show shouting it out. You know what I'm saying? But I am just grateful for the friendship with Christopher. He's been very kind to me and Erin. And
he's
gracious,
he's so
considerate.
He's so thoughtful, and wise. And I love how he sets these goals. He and his team set a goal, where they're like, we're going to sell this much.
10,000 cups of coffee by September this.
Yeah. And then they meet that goal, and they do what they say they were going to do with it. We're going to feed this many families, and they figure out how to get all that food, and they feed that many families, and then they set a new goal.
We're going to connect 50 people with a therapist, and we're going to pay for 3 free sessions. And then they do that. And when they aren't successful, they're like, hey, I need more community members that know therapists. We need more providers because we have more people on the waiting list and we don't have enough therapists. They ask for help from the community. Yeah. And it's
really community driven. It's really real, true transparency. It's all realistic goals. Oh, it's so cool and inspiring.
And it was great to watch how Chris went around and listened and learned from a lot of different people, and then applied it in a way that was very transparent and admitted when there was learning moments, and shared that with the community too. I think that that's what makes it the realest organization that I've come across in my time working in nonprofit spaces. And I'm just really, really proud. And I'm glad that Lululemon stepped up and offered up their cafe space on the second floor of that beautiful, beautiful building. So go check them out on North Avenue and go get some coffee, buy some merch. The Unite Chicago merch is really cool because anytime somebody reads that message, we're planting a seed to connect these communities a little tighter, to share resources, to come together, because scarcity that exists should not. We are one of the biggest countries. We are one of the biggest cities in that country with the most resources. And it's only greed that breeds scarcity. I'll say that again. It's only greed that breeds scarcity. So if you have a little bit extra, and it's not going to hurt you to share with your community, think about texting NTU21 to 77948, helping them raise some money for the Normalized Therapy University.
NTU21 to
77948.
779.
And if
48.
If you forget that, or it pops in your head at a later date, get on those socials, whatever you prefer. They're all over that stuff: Instagram, Facebook, Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health. And make sure you can even get involved, one-to-one, firsthand. You can take part in their next food drive. You can help gift boxes of food and resources to families that really need it, underserved communities throughout Chicagoland. And if you've never volunteered in that kind of capacity, they do it in a way that is very comfortable and cognizant of COVID protocol, and making sure that people are comfortable with even therapists on site for de-escalation should it be needed. Because I don't know about you, this cave syndrome of reemerging from the cave that my very talented sister wrote about.
That's what it's called. They're going to call it. Well, I mean, I think it had a name before, but they're giving it to this situation too.
If you're out and about and you're trying to live your life again because you got vaccinated and you got your mask and you're feeling more comfortable about what you now know and the research that has been done, don't feel bad if you get out there one time or another and it's just too much. It's overwhelming. I had a panic attack at Target maybe a month ago, and I needed to go. I needed to get some things. I was wearing my mask. I'm vaccinated, but I was having a hard week. And that stuff all added up, and found myself really panicked and tearing up. And when I got back outside, I could breathe again. But, it doesn't happen very often, but it's exhausting when it does. Yeah. And I need to be able to say, oh, Mike, you need to chill out.
I had a coworker who was going to their first sort of local show, and even though the place was having vax cards and everything, she was just really nervous. And I was like, you can always leave.
Right on.
You can always just leave.
Yeah. I know that.
And it feels sometimes it feels like you can't, especially if you're with friends or something. But
yeah, there's pressure that exists that we put on ourselves, and there's pressure that's actually there that we feel from people in our life that probably don't intend to put that pressure there. It's just
what you got to do. We all
missed the whole year.
Yeah.
If we were, if we're being honest.
Take care of yourself.
That's true. But the good news, the bad news, the helpers. Well, the bad news is that spot on Broadway was no longer going to be the best spot for them, and that's kind of a bummer. The good news is that Lululemon stepped up as a helper, gave them the second floor cafe space in a very beautiful location with a lot of community members with dispensable income. So dispense, go get yourself a coffee, get yourself a hoodie, support the underserved communities of Chicago and beyond someday, because I know this man and his team will do even bigger things in the months and years to come. And we'll be right there. Stanning, right? Did I use that term right? Stan? Is that what the kids say on the internet? I stan them. Did I do that right? Just practicing for being a dad someday, you know. And I just want to say that you'll be seeing a little bit more about coffee, hip hop, and mental health later in today's episode for our musical segment, which that's exciting. But the other bit is that in November, when they open up their new shop on West Belmont, I want you to get there too and just say thank you, because sometimes it's a thankless job giving unending, just unending giving and selflessness in this work. It's important to say thank you. It's important to shout those helpers out on your podcasts, write them up in your publications, reach out to them about collaboration. And so do that with Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health. Do that with the Hope for Us Network. Do that with any organization that you feel passionately about supporting. Just don't be a bystander. Get involved. And on the days that you're feeling up to it, be the hope in someone else's world.
Can we talk about one more helper?
Yeah.
Tell us about this shirt you're wearing.
Oh, sure. So that is a bit of the bad news that we were talking about in our last episode, is the fact that there's a lot of bullshit anti-trans legislation. There's a lot of bullshit legislation that's attempting to exert draconian force over people's bodies that are non-male bodies. Us dudes, us that identify as white cis dudes, for that matter, we've had it pretty good for a very long time. It's time that we are also being helpers and supporting causes, putting them right on our chest, putting them in people's faces, so that those that are being silenced, those that are being pushed to the fringes, or just in general being dehumanized in the courts of law of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this,
if you want to help, raise your voice on behalf of those people.
This Asian American trans non-binary artist, Meg, makes these shirts, and they have had like Elliot Page and other people have been wearing them too, which is really cool. But they make really cute pins and bags and hoodies and shirts. So so that is Mega Miko art, and I'll put that in the chat too. But they're great.
Yeah, check them out. And if you have artists,
I think it just like makes a big difference to wear this kind of stuff and for people to see it, because it makes it more visible, but it also makes people who see it feel safer. So there's multiple reasons.
A lot of value, a lot of added value.
Yeah.
And if you have other artists that you that mean a lot to you, their work speaks to you and makes you feel like you can make it to tomorrow and you can make it to the next day, something that fills you up with joy, DM us, send messages to the Hope for Us Network. Let us know who you love. We'll reach out. We'll amplify their message. We'll spread their voice, and we'll try and connect the dots of this international digital community, really taking advantage of the modern technologies, not just letting it make us more lazy and complacent, but rather connecting us and inspiring us to transform community mental health. So
what's our next little bit? I feel like that kind of rolls into it.
And also to our friend Lisa and all the brave fighters down there in Texas going to the courthouse and being there. That's not easy stuff. And that's also a thankless job. So
yeah, we talked
you.
about that last week too.
Yeah.
Like middle of the night even.
That shit is ridiculous. Trying to pass legislation, trying to slip it in the middle of the night. It's not cool.
It's
What
so
do you-
despicable. I had to laugh.
Yeah.
It's despicable.
Despicable.
Like that. Oh my god.
You gotta laugh to keep from
Cowards.
crying. Gotta laugh to keep from crying. But there are lots of helpers, and the reason we named that segment that is because of that Mr. Rogers quote. When things are scary, when you're watching the news and all that, when you're scrolling, doom scrolling, remember to look for the helpers because they're out there. But if it bleeds, it leads, and the news networks just want to make money, it would seem. So they put all that negative stuff, all that dramatic stuff right up front, which is important for us to know about the big stuff happening in the world. But look for the helpers when you get scared. It's very overwhelming. Remember to take breaks. Remember to use social media and this technology a little more deliberately, because that's mental health too. That's being proactive with your mental health. You want to keep it moving?
Yeah, let's search for goodness.
Let's go on a search for goodness. We're searching for goodness. This is another one of our recurrent segments each week, and we debuted it last week with a little trip to the Renaissance Fair in Bristol, which was really fun because, man, champion self-expression everywhere you find it. Be it people dressing up as knights and pretending to slay dragons, LARPing, or in this case, people that are creating delicious food and beverage to, kind of treat yourself. So this is the episode 2 segment, Searching for Goodness Network. If you'll roll the clip, please. Network.
Sorry, there's a little bit of an issue. We'll get it up in 2 seconds.
No problem. Thank you, Network. Network, we love you. So
this was like a couple weeks ago.
It was a really kind of, is it going to rain? Is it going to storm kind of day? But we really needed to get out. We really needed to sit on a patio. We really needed to have a couple adult beverages and some food and just be together and feel like we were supporting a local business that we care about surviving these challenging times for businesses. Erin actually is wearing your Chicago Hospitality United shirt.
Yeah, and I
tie-dyed the hell out of it, and it looks great.
Where did I tie-dye it?
I think we brought it to that high dye event with Nature's
last
Grace.
Year.
We brought some shirts. They had shirts available for us, but
on the back there's like
there's the skyscraper. Yes, and it says support Chicago hospitality workers. So we got a bunch of that stuff over the past year. Just sparing what we could for a cause that we believed in, because we got a lot of friends and family working in service, and man, not an easy road to travel at the moment. So this was our little trip over to Half Acre, where we were searching for goodness, and we certainly found it. And Network, if it's an issue with the video, we can maybe move on to the next segment and come back to it. You just let us know. If you haven't had Half Acre, if you don't know what Half Acre is, aside from a measurement of land being parceled out.
Real quick, I need to reach out to Scott real quick, just because we're having some issues that I think he was dealing with. First video worked all right, and then now it doesn't seem to want to work, so we'll just need a second.
Okay, great. Well then, at this moment, rather than tell you too much more about Half Acre, it's a brewery in Chicago, and they have a couple locations. I first tasted their beer in a can, Daisy Cutter, that I saw at a lot of places.
Gandy was being naughty.
Was he being naughty? Gandy is like the technology. He can be naughty sometimes. But we were we were definitely blessed in Chicago with a rich, thriving, microbrewery community. They all take care of each other. They all collaborate often, and there's many, many, many ones that we love. But this was a cool little visit that we got to take to their Balmoral. Balmoral. Why can't I say that word? Anyway,
Good
they
boy.
have a really nice location up there where they do a lot of their high volume brewing. A little more space up north, a little further from the city center. And man, the food was delicious, and the patio vibe is just like, well, it's a vibe. It's totally awesome, and we really enjoyed it. So if you are ever visiting Chicago, I recommend picking out a couple breweries to check out. Half Acre is fantastic, and why don't we take this moment to introduce you to this little fella. He is been in our home for a year now. His name's Gandalf. He is what? What kind of cat is this?
A gray one.
A gray one. But he's very,
We
very
don't
funny.
know.
He's very fun to snuggle, and he has lots of
Energy
energy and charisma, personality.
and belly. He has a belly now.
He has gotten basically 10 times the size. Okay. When we first took him home, he was about the size of this logo on my chest, and I could just hold him like this. I'm driving us home. We went and got him as a little baby kit. He was the freshest kit you could get, right?
Yeah.
When a mama has a kitten.
I think he was like a little barn cat. He was with his mom and his siblings until we picked him up, which is good.
Yeah, like 8 weeks they need to be with their mama.
Yeah, at least 8 weeks.
So the freshest kit you could get, as I said, and carried him home. Just cruising on the highway. We got home, and you blink your eyes, and this guy is like this long. Right there. If I can demonstrate here. Look at how long he is. He's so long. Don't bite me. I know.
He's like, hey, that was nice.
We've got the video up and working, so I'm going to pop it in now.
Network.
All right.
Time for searching for goodness. Our
Hi.
network people just crushing it. Thank you for problem solving. Roll the clip. Yeah. Hey.
Hey, where are you at?
We're at Half Acre Beer Garden.
Oh,
in
yeah?
Balmoral.
What are you drinking? What is it?
Which one is it?
Battle of Trenton?
Battle of Trenton.
Is it juice?
No.
Is it beer?
Yeah. So it says that it's mixed culture beer with peach tea and mint.
What? Is it good?
It's very refreshing. Kind of effervescence.
Have a sip.
It was delicious. It was
Ooh.
different. So different.
Refresh.
Wizard knows.
Refreshy.
Is it a wizard or no?
Was it a wizard or a gnome?
Zoom in on that. What do you guys think? Wizard or no?
Anybody?
Let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think exactly.
Oh. Is it a wizard? Is it a gnome? You tell us. But yeah, pretty awesome. Been meaning to come here for a while. Glad we finally made it.
Oh, you can tell how windy it was.
We're gonna have food, yeah?
The trees are all swinging.
Yeah, you get to eat before it rains. If it rains.
Yeah. Well,
It's kind of blustery.
cross your fingers for us.
Blustery is one of my favorite words, honey. I think so.
Oh man.
Ooh, I wanted to eat that.
What do we got here? What do we got
It's
going
making me
on?
hungry.
Or are you eating a burger?
It's Beyond Burger.
What does that mean?
Beyond Meat. It's like.
Are you vegetarian?
Yeah.
For how
Why
long?
are you asking me these questions?
How long have you been vegetarian?
I don't like this segment.
She gets self-conscious when I go segment mode.
15 years.
So you don't eat any meat?
I eat seafood.
Oh, so you're a pesca.
Pascal.
Do you eat eggs?
I'm a pesca avo-tarian.
Ova. And you
Not avo.
you
but
eat dairy.
avocado.
You eat dairy. Yeah. But you don't eat this. But you eat that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Thank you, Half Acre. I'm so excited to dig in. Did you already sneak a curly? How are they?
I had those curlies.
That one.
That was a good one.
That's all mine. Oh boy. Everyone nodded it. Well,
What's this one?
keeping it together.
Okay. All right.
That's cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Oh, it just had a K T. It didn't have the I in there.
Yeah.
You do K like that. I do. I think K's
That looks
acceptable.
effervescent as well.
It is. Great. It's
Sign language
put
rules.
it together. The specific one is I am because we are.
Yeah, because we are.
With honey. And then I've got the half acre burger.
It smells like
I'm about to give a review.
smells lavendery. I don't.
Best
think
review.
This is the half acre burger.
I got the Beyond Burger. That looks good.
Mm. That's how I give a review. So
Happy
yeah,
food dance. All right, bon appetit.
that was so yum. Searching for goodness. Did we find goodness? Yes, I'd say we found goodness. Do you agree?
Definitely.
Um,
It made us happy. Do things that make you happy.
do the little things that make you happy. If you got time to do them,
Definitely a wizard. Yeah.
I think it's a wizard. I think there could be an argument made for gnome, but you know that was why it was fun. And little silly, even you could say stupid things like that, but that's a little belittling. I think it's just like little silly things like that are important, even if it's just like it doesn't matter if it is a gnome or a wizard. Just talking about it's silly and fun, and you know everybody wins. So you know I like that. And you know what else I thought was super special, and this happens maybe to me more frequently than maybe to most people, but I don't know. I think it's just I pay attention to small things a little more. We arrived and we had never been to this location before. We've been thinking about it, talking about it for a long time. But all of the patio furniture was like this specific shade of teal turquoise. There's like, it's like that lamp. It's like her jam. And like those things, when I arrive at a place and there's a small subtle signpost, be it a string of numbers that are significant to me, or color, or the server walks up and they're like, my name is, you know, somebody that I care about, shares the same name. Those types of things, sure, maybe it's minutia, maybe it's you know, connecting dots, or like reaching for something that maybe is just a coincidence. But if it gives you comfort, like it gives me comfort, who cares? You know, it's special to you, and that's what the Tomorrow Show is really founded on, is this notion of like those little things that they cause you to shine, right? And those little things that make you happy, and they don't have to make other people happy because they're personal, they're yours. So just the fact that the patio furniture at that spot was your color, I was like, we're where we're supposed to be right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the blusteriness and like the kind of like taunting that Mother Nature was doing to kind of ruin or rain on our parade.
Did not though.
Yeah, it was just like it made it even more interesting. The clouds moving overhead, the trees doing their thing and dancing, and just feeling like Mother Nature was like kind to us that day. It spared us and gave us, it's this moment together where we let things slow down. And I wasn't thinking about working, and she wasn't thinking about working, and we weren't thinking about anything but the delicious food creations before us.
Yeah.
And when I eat, a lot of times I'll close my eyes, just really like shut out the visual elements and like heighten the other senses, like the smells and the tastes. And, there is something to be said for that. And you don't have to go to a fancy place where you spend an arm and a leg. One thing that we've done when we've been like kind of tight on the purse strings, a little budget, a little light on the budget, we'll split things. And you still get that kind of like moment of I'm doing something special for myself, but we're splitting this, so it's not as much money that we're spending. I'm gonna get a drink. We're gonna get a fancy cocktail. Now I'm just gonna drink water. So to make it accessible. The other thing that is really sweet to do when it comes to nourishing our bodies with like treats, you can always go to the store, make something of your own, something fun, and pack it up for a picnic and go sit in the park and eat together, or go get down to the lakefront or a body of water near you, be it a pond, a lake, a river, a creek. Something about the water for me is just nice.
Yeah.
But the eating al fresco is also really nice.
Yeah.
I think it's like it connects you with nature, which kind of connects to our next segment, but it connects you with nature, and it also gives you kind of that reminder that, okay, I'm going to try and not look at my phone. I'm going to try and be in this moment. I'm going to try and slow things down.
Yeah, it feels slower. It's nice.
And we hope that maybe in the months and years of this show to come, that some of our viewers will search for goodness on their own, and you can make your own searching for goodness segments, and you could let us know, and we can highlight you on this program, because this program is supposed to be about that community. So if you're searching for goodness, or you want us to go to a spot to search for goodness, it could be food, it could be a museum, it could be someone's shop where they do really cool clothes, or they do really cool plants, or whatever.
That would be really fun.
Yeah, searching for goodness can be food. It could be the Renaissance Fair, as we've demonstrated in our first 2 iterations of that segment. But it can be going to a show, a concert. It could be going to a stand-up comedy show. It could be...
Or like a park you really like.
Visiting a park or a natural wonder of some sort near you. And it could be going to the movies.
Like a walk you like to do or something.
It could be anything. Anything that you're searching for goodness and you think is powerful and might resonate with our community, we need to drop as many pluses in the bucket as possible. And, the more things represented, the more experiences represented, the more chances for people to go, oh, yeah, that's like me. Or that's something I've never tried, but I want to. And now maybe I will, because they've taken kind of a little bit of the fear and the anxiety out of it for me, because they showed me what it was like for them. I think that can be done with learning a new skill, visiting a new neighborhood or a new community or a new spot. And it could be done with trying a whole trove of different experiences, be it, something you do or something you eat. So searching for goodness, if you make your own searching for goodness, let us know. We would love to see it. Anything else you want to say about that half-acre experience?
No.
Wizard or gnome? Did you decide?
A wizard gnome?
Ooh, a combo, a wizard gnome.
That's cute.
A wizard gnome would be pretty cute. I'm sure there's been in the history of gnomes and wizards. I'm sure there's been a gnome that
Who's-
also had
Yeah.
wizard powers, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Oh,
Did
Candy brought us something
Oh, what did he
down
bring
the
us?
stairs.
Oh, thank you for that cardboard tube, sir. We are so lucky for your gifts. At least it's not that, a little birdie or something like that.
he
So,
wishes.
great. Well, that's awesome. And since we got to get out in nature in that patio, I think that it would be a great time to move on to our next segment.
Yeah.
Well, what is this segment called?
It's called Nature is
Amazing.
Awesome. And so are you.
Awesome too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna show you a little bit behind the scenes of our menagerie of animals. Actually, no, they're animals. They're insects. These were pets that we had
Yes.
temporarily.
Yeah.
And our porch is full of things growing in
Well,
pots.
Mostly like herbs and stuff, but
Your green witch materials.
some yes, my gnome wizard materials.
Oh, you're a gnome wizard now. You're flaming gnome wizard.
Yeah. So thanks, bud. Good boy.
Yeah. So
Where you
when we cue up that next clip, nature is amazing, and so are you. Seems to be a theme here. Bell tolls. Look at that little cute little bee. Keep climbing the flower.
Nature is amazing, and so are you.
Hey, what's going on here?
We have some little I think they're black swallowtail caterpillars.
What?
Yeah.
That looks like a mint bush.
So they ate our full curly parsley plant.
What? They ate our parsley.
Within a
That was
day.
Yeah, that was all fluffy earlier. Well,
And there's a big fat guy, and he was here when I left this afternoon.
Whoa.
And now I was like, he's
curly
gone.
They're like curly parsley, huh?
But he's right there. He's a big fat guy. So he's probably getting ready soon.
Getting ready to what?
Go into his chrysalis.
Wait.
I'm still amazed by
They're
this.
the same kind of bugs that turn into butterflies? What's going on here?
So we couldn't find any curly parsley plants, so we got some curly parsley. And I'm gonna put half of it out for them. And I think I'm
See if it
gonna-
works.
I'm gonna
Ingenious.
try back, maybe.
How are you going to do that?
I'm gonna try to snip off the little piece of mint he's on. It's
Oh.
on. I don't know if it's a
I'm so amazed.
and move it.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh my God! Don't snip him.
Side bud.
So you could see his little feet.
What?
Oh, that's cool.
Oh my God!
Oh, so cute.
He's hugging that shit.
Yeah.
Cool feet. You're pretty awesome looking. Let me get the top of you.
And with caterpillars, they can be poisonous, and I don't know that much about these guys, so you don't want to touch them
Don't touch him.
because you don't know if they might have like a little toxin. So I guess I'll just put
Yeah.
them like that.
He seems to really enjoy curly parsley, so. We got you a buffet, sir.
And then I'm gonna
We got you a buffet.
cage or something around them so they don't get eaten by birds because we had some a couple months ago.
It's true.
Can't believe how he scarfed it.
They disappeared. They went to the farm.
So yeah, so we'll protect them and see if we can get some.
You're going to try and capture a metamorphosis
Yeah.
from
maybe
caterpillar
we can.
to chrysalis to butterfly.
Yeah.
That would be so dope.
Whoa.
You're like a magical wizard lady.
You are a magical wizard lady. Can I ask you some questions about that?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you must have been like watching like a hawk to spot those. They're little, right?
Yeah.
They're like little.
Well,
So you're also like, what the hell is that?
yeah. Like they're like pretty well camouflaged, but not
Yeah, their stripiness
great.
tricks
Like,
your eyes a little bit.
it's good if you're a bird, but I think if you're a human, then not so much. But like our parsley bush or little plant was like right up the stairs. So
yeah. Okay.
I think that's why I saw them. I was kind of like eye level with it for a second. And we also earlier in the summer had a few previously, and the parsley grew back after they ate it all. They ate it all, and then they left, I hope.
You hope? What
Well,
do you mean? You think the birds maybe
birds
got 'em?
like to eat caterpillars.
They're big and
so-
juicy. They were full of parsley.
Yeah. Or they like crawled off and found another plant.
Sure.
I don't know how they got there. I haven't found any like eggs. Like you would see like little orange or white or yellow eggs
Like on the leaf.
on a leaf.
Oh.
And then they would emerge as a caterpillar.
Where did the eggs come from? From a butterfly?
From a butterfly.
Oh.
But I haven't, like, neither of us have really seen swallowtails. And I know I Googled it, and I know that they're black swallowtails. So yeah, that had happened earlier in the summer, and then this happened again. And I was like, I don't want them to get eaten. So I tried to put them in like some chicken wire and kind of like moved all the plants and stuff. And they still crawled away. I found the big juicy guy crawling away.
They didn't
One day.
they didn't like the experiment.
They didn't like the
store-bought curly parsley.
The two smaller ones did eat it, but not as like ferociously.
Yeah, well, ferocious veracity, not with as much
ferocity.
veracity.
Yeah.
No, but they were ferociously eating that growing in the pot.
Yeah, like
I wonder if
when
there's
we said
something-
a day, like all the way down
it's
to
not
the
hyperbole.
stubs
It was
within a day.
big, verdant, curly parsley plant with,
and it's actually growing back again.
it's a resilient plant. But
yeah, they love parsley and rue. And I actually tried to give them some rue, and they weren't as interested.
well, yeah.
So yeah, like if you have those herbs in your garden, then it's more likely that you might get them. And I had a friend who was like, had this whole swallowtail thing because she got one of those like butterfly netted.
Yeah, one of those like capturing, like in classrooms, sometimes they will get caterpillars.
And that's like a really thin mesh
Yeah.
that they can't get through, and that they can actually
Climb up.
they can climb up and they can make their chrysalis on.
hang
and
their little butts.
they're pretty safe. So I don't know, maybe we get one of those sometime.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And it sounds like
the chicken wire wasn't enough. So
it sounds like they didn't like the stuff that had already been disconnected from the plant, and it was like just a bunch that I went to the store to buy.
maybe they need like the chlorophyll.
Yeah, maybe like once it's disconnected from its roots, it's not as delish.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And they're only farm to table caterpillars.
They're a little bougie.
They're like, you bought that at Cermak, and it's not even attached to any roots. Send it back.
Yeah, they were
I'm
like
walking
all
away.
right with it, but it wasn't their favorite.
Okay. And how do you know so much about caterpillars and butterflies?
So shout out to the Peggy Nodebart Nature Museum. I volunteered there. It's over by kind of near Lake Michigan and the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago. And I volunteered there for up until quarantine.
Oh yeah.
And
I know that.
I
want you to know that.
I was working in the butterfly lab when I first started there. So it was like I got to do I got to process little tiny chrysalises and
Process them.
Yeah, you would get them from all over the world. You have to, humanely
Source
and
them.
legally source them from different places around
that
the
sounds
world.
nefarious.
So they would. It is. It could be
Weird.
No, it is like there are books about like nefarious butterfly and moth, and it's like exotic pet stuff.
Why is there going to be
Anyway,
assholes in every
Yes.
possible?
Well, I don't know. So
Okay.
We would get them from these places, and they would be like, we would get them from Chile. We would get them from Mexico.
Guatemala.
Maybe, gosh, I can't quite remember now, but there were boxes we would get, and you would have to sort the chrysalises out, and they would be different colors and shapes and sizes, and you would have to ID them, and then you'd hang them up in the little
case.
And they
She
would,
pinned them. It was so cute.
and the butterflies would emerge from them, and then we put them in the Nature Museum's butterfly haven, is what they call it, and they have, you feed them different fruits so they can stick their little proboscis into the fruit and get the nectar out.
That's how a butterfly eats, like this.
Yeah, we'd make them sugar water, and they, people can go in there and learn more about them. So yeah,
How can you not fall in love with a lady that's got in the lab coat and she's got these magic? You're like, what the hell is that? Like little jewels. Someone would look like a little diamond jewels.
they
Someone
were
looked like
unbelievable.
crusty dead leaves. Like their camouflage was different depending on the region they came from and where they had to
Exactly.
blend into, rainforest or like deciduous forest or wherever it ended up being from. And first of all, that was amazing. Second of all, it was also very just whimsical to step into this butterfly haven and wear a bright shirt if you're not freaked out by insects landing on you.
Yeah, like
so
he
they
had
think you're
blue,
a flower.
Yeah, they'd probably like this shirt that he had like an orange and blue tie dye.
Oh, that tie-dye they loved. They thought it was a big old flower.
Yeah, they would like go and land on him.
So many different kinds.
I think they really like orange. Yeah.
Butterflies,
So that's
caterpillars, and the metamorphosis of caterpillar to butterfly is amazing.
Yeah.
And
It's
just
so,
an excellent example of nature being
it's
amazing.
so weird.
And your nature too. Each one of you is unique and probably going through metamorphoses throughout the course of your life.
We're made out of the same star stuff as those are.
And that's why it's just something that gives us great joy to explore nature and these different facets of nature, because it is amazing. And so are you. Can you give me that giant pad of paper, darling? Because I think some people might not really totally get the metamorphosis process.
Oh, you're gonna write it down?
We're gonna draw a picture real quick. My giant pad. Look at that. Oh yeah.
Such a
Okay,
teacher.
so I got some fatties, and I'm gonna draw that very hungry caterpillar. I'm gonna do it so you can see. Watch out, Gandhi. You see that? All right. So I bet he'd be like this tall to scale. There's his butt, and here's his face. Did he have like little horns or something? Like
he
like,
didn't, but he had
like something like that, and maybe
sure.
like little face, maybe. Did he have a little face where he's nom 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 nom? He had to eat with it.
Yeah.
All right, so kind of like a worm, and stripes, huh?
Yeah.
This still looks like a worm. Okay. He does like really cool little feets, right? Where he's hugging that leaf. So very, very different than a butterfly right here. This doesn't look like a butterfly at all, does it? Right? Okay. So
well, like not only that, like the egg it comes out of, in retrospect to this, is probably like this big.
really?
Like it's so
It's
tiny.
like a little tiny.
They're so tiny.
Like we're talking a
and
speck,
the caterpillars,
like a speck.
a
Almost.
speck. Like you could, it'd be hard to find them on the leaves. Yeah.
And so that eventually becomes a full-grown caterpillar.
Yeah, and they get
What does
bigger
this
and
dude
bigger.
What does he do? How does he
He
turn
climbs
from
up
this
on.
into a winged creature?
Look how Gandhi's learning. So he climbs up onto a branch,
Okay.
and
Does he attach his butt to the
he,
branch?
I think, makes some kind of like silkworms. Like they make some kind of like sort of a silk.
Yeah, something that really hangs him
Yeah.
by his butt? Or does he
I
hang by
think
his face?
I think by their butts.
Okay.
Or maybe they kind of.
Maybe he's got a little hook on
Maybe
his
they're
belt.
kind of like this.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they're squinched up and they're like.
And then they, like somehow we should. I mean, we should. We should look up how they make this.
They basically synthesize this cocoon around them, which is the chrysalis part, right?
Yeah.
And depending on what kind of variety it is,
if it's a butterfly, you call it a chrysalis.
If it's a moth,
and if it's a moth, you call it a cocoon.
Well,
and cocoons are
I didn't know that.
Very different. Like they're bigger and kind of like
I'm gonna give them some
papery, or like they're definitely a little different than cocoons. Like you would be like, that is chrysalis. Yeah.
I'm gonna put some lipstick.
Okay, that look okay. Now he's like a Halloween. Now he's like a Halloween caterpillar. Okay.
Okay, so all right, and then they're in there for a long time.
So a couple of weeks to a couple of like it could
depends on
it could be like 2 to 8 weeks.
Okay, and then they start emerging, but before that, do they turn to like fucking goo? Like
they turn to goo.
They really?
Yeah.
Like total goo.
Yeah.
Like this guy goes.
Yeah.
Into liquid,
and their like whole system becomes something else.
And like the cells rearrange themselves.
I think that's what I've read.
What? Is this sci-fi?
It's crazy.
No, it's nature.
It's wild.
That's pretty wild. That's amazing. And okay, so then, and it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's still got kind of like that insect part in the middle.
Yeah,
but it's different
looking. It changes
looking.
Color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it has these wings.
They start so after they're out of the cocoon, which is like the stage I'm most familiar with from the Nature Museum.
Is the goo gone?
No. So when they emerge, the cocoons kind of start breaking open, and they come out, and their little legs hold onto the cocoon, and there's all this sort of like
or chrysalis.
Yeah. I keep using the chrysalis.
It's okay. I think that we're not scientists here. We're just
so they come out
fans.
of their chrysalis and they hold on to it, and their legs, their little wings are like completely like shriveled up. Like they haven't gotten all the juices.
Well, they haven't gotten to stretch out either.
Right. So they haven't gotten all their juices through their wings. So which is what has to happen. So a lot of the juices are in their body. So their body is like kind of more bulbous, and their wings will be like all shriveled up. So they're holding on with their little legs, and their little wings are like kind of just back here, all shrivelly. And the cocoon, the chrysalis or cocoon kind of like breaks open. They get out of there very slowly. It probably takes about an hour.
Yeah, they gotta fight
it
to
takes
get the hell out of there.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
Some of them don't. Yeah, some of them don't make it.
Yeah.
So they hang there, and there's a lot of like juice, and it looks like sometimes it's red or kind of like bluish or brown, and it's smelly, and and that's like the leftover stuff, and that is the stuff that gives them color too.
Oh,
so these juices kind of have to come out of their body into their wings, and their wings will start to unfurl, and then they dry out.
They keep shaking them out.
Yeah, they'll kind of be like,
it's like they're fluffing their hair like a Vidal Sassoon commercial.
It is a little, yeah.
They're like, ooh, that was very
flip.
cramped in there. It was very stuffy
and
smelly too.
Yes, and so then they like get out, and they hang there until they're dry. And that's kind of when you could touch them very, very lightly with your fingers and feel if their wings were dry enough to like transfer them into the butterfly haven.
And you would catch them like this, right?
Yeah, you catch them in between your fingers. If you ever catch a butterfly, you want to catch them between the like softer part of your finger
right?
when their wings are closed. And because this won't squish them too hard. But like the idea that like you'll taint them or like kill them by touching them is a myth. But
and you put them in a little mesh thing and take them out to the haven. Bada boom, bada bing. Mm-hmm. Would you like to draw some wings on this? Complete our butterfly?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to do red wings? I don't know why I want them red. So they would be a lot bigger than.
You can go like to the edge of the page. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're gonna be like out of.
Oh, it's like a little eye, like on a.
Like an atlas moth.
On the atlas moth, yeah.
So that
dang,
we like can't even.
We can't even make the wings.
We can't even make the wings big enough. But...
Oh, what are those? What are those little tail thingies?
Those are going to be the second set of wings.
Oh, they have 2 sets.
Down. Yeah, usually, and then they'll have longer antennae, and they'll have.
You want to stick his proboscis out? You want to stick out his proboscis? That's our Halloween transformation.
Yeah, and they would have some legs.
Well, that's beautiful.
It's just ridiculous.
It's also kind of like something out of a nightmare at this scale.
It's ridiculous.
It's awesome. All
right.
That thing grew some wings. And why this is important is the word metamorphosis and how it pertains to mental health, how it pertains to community mental health. At that, we are trying to transform it, right? We're trying to transform community mental health from a caterpillar into a butterfly. And yeah, that's going to require everything that we've become so accustomed to, everything that we are too afraid to shake up and change. Well, we're going to have to put that shit in a cocoon or a chrysalis, and it's going to have to get a little gooey. It's going to have to think about, well, this system is broken in these ways. So we need to rearrange those cells. We need to rearrange those resources. We need to rearrange how our community thinks about it and approaches mental health. And so far, really, really happy that Illinois is doing some things. Our governor passing a first responder mental health act, and just being able to address this is a more united front. What you got there? Are those the swallowtails?
Yeah, so that's the little caterpillar. And that's what they become, is these like amazing black.
That's amazing.
And they have yellow and blue.
It's almost like the yellow from the caterpillar created some blue.
Yeah.
With like chlorophyll or something like that.
This is what makes it a swallowtail, is this little
extra boop.
Yeah.
Nice. That's beautiful. Not exactly what we drew, but you know. Metamorphosis happens to all of us, whether you want to be literal, like in a nature sense, or if you want to be a little more metaphorical, because we're all going through stuff.
Yeah, it looks like these are the eggs, little tiny yellow eggs.
Little tiny yellow specks on a leaf that turn into this very interesting legged caterpillar that can hug a small little piece of greenery it's foraging on, and then turn into a magical swallowtail with a whole different set of colors and a whole different structure. And we can do that to our community if we believe we can.
Yourself.
If you can do it to yourself. Yeah. If you have been under the pressures of maybe judgment in your life from your family or from your professional field or from your community, you know, and you're starting to figure some things out through this past year of isolation at times and some learning, and maybe you decided you don't identify like you used to, or maybe you decide that these things in your life don't serve you anymore, and you're going to metamorphosize, you're going to change, you're going to rearrange your cells and try to become that butterfly version of yourself. That's not going to be an easy task, and it isn't for a butterfly either, apparently. But you're amazing, just like nature. You are nature. Nature's amazing, and so are you. So thanks for drawing a picture with me. Felt kind of Bob Rossi.
Yeah.
Only way less
It
talented.
reminds me of being a teacher. We were both teachers, so.
Yeah, a big pad of paper. You just can't beat it.
Like bad drawing.
Some fat markers.
It does help.
Minimalists. Just black and red.
Apparently, the black swallowtail caterpillars like dill as well.
Oh yeah, okay. And one last kind of touch on this nature bit and the caterpillars. It seems like they were eating all our shit. Do you want caterpillars in your garden?
Good point. Most people don't.
Yeah, but this was like something that.
But I would never spray for that kind of thing. I'm like, whatever.
Well,
if they eat the parsley, that's fine. But
yeah, and this was like not something that we planned.
some gardeners would be like horrified.
This is not something we were planning, and it wasn't like we needed the parsley. Like we were gonna make a special dish and we needed that parsley, or that without parsley I turned into a werewolf or something like that. It wasn't like a make or break situation. So we sacrificed our curly parsley because we were just gonna see what happened. We were experimenting and we thought it was neat. We thought it was whimsical, and it would have been super badass for us to then have
Word of the day.
Yeah, it would have been really great to have the chrysalis and
Yeah.
butterfly experience, but it didn't work out, and that's okay too. And maybe they'll come along again and we'll have the mesh, and we'll actually get to see that whole life cycle in our little patch of wild in our yard. But
Yeah.
there's also, you want butterflies in your garden, right? You might not want caterpillars in your garden,
but you
want,
really want. Yeah, we really need pollinators. Yeah.
and you can attract those with native plants and stuff if you're a home gardener and you want to try that out again next growing season, or if you're somewhere else in the world that you're going to have a much longer growing season. Those are some things to consider. And if you ever see a butterfly just out when you're out and about, and just take a moment to just watch it travel, watch it go from plant to plant, or just watch it with its clumsy flight, because there's a grace to it too.
There's the monarch migration is happening right now. They migrate from the north all the way down to
Down
like
to South
the
America?
equator. Yeah. And you'll see a bunch of them if you just like
Keep your
kind
eyes
of
peeled.
you'll just see them floating by, and that's really fun too.
Watching a bud turn into a flower in your neighborhood on somebody else's plant is a beautiful thing to mark time and to stay present. And watching a butterfly when you have a chance because it crossed your path is another really great way to just be in that moment, just for as long as that flutters by. So,
What's your favorite pollinator?
my favorite pollinator? It would have to be a butterfly of some sort. I think the ones that both creeped me out and excited me the most at the butterfly haven were the atlas moths that were like that big,
And their cocoons are like this big.
super stink.
Oh my god! Oh, and they when they come out of their cocoon, it's like it sprays.
Like splash.
Yeah,
It's like a splash in the tank. Weird.
and their juices come out their butt. And, oh my god, it's like kind of horrific.
It's like, I just totally rearranged my cells. I gotta take a shit.
Well, it's not. It's not feces.
Right. It's just some juice that we as laymen's
Yeah,
don't really know all the technicalities of it. But
I want to know. But
maybe we'll feel
But
inspired.
yeah, then they
from
come
this.
out and they're like this big. Like, they're like this big.
I bet they can get a lot of pollinating done. But I do like those fuzzy butt bees. I used to not be such a fan of bees until you helped me like learn to love them and appreciate them. So
They're cute.
yeah.
My favorite pollinator,
Yeah, what is it?
bats.
Bats are pollinators?
Yeah.
Wow.
With their little tongues.
I thought they were just vampires. Woo. Excuse me.
No, they with their little tongues, they pollinate.
That's cool. Well, chalk it up for another nature. Amazing.
Yay!
Yeah. That's great. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that segment. We are getting close to the end of the show today.
Yeah.
We've kind of gotten back to a segment that we debuted on the first episode called Theory and Beats. Theory and Beats, last episode, we featured the creation of our theme song. We were able to create that in 30 minutes, having fun, me, Aaron, and AC at his Beat Lab. And if you didn't get a chance to check Theory and Beats on the first episode, please tune back into that broadcast. It's archived. You can watch it at your leisure. Rather than scrolling Netflix and picking something out, head over to Twitch and watch our first episode, get caught up, because it's real fun to be in AC's Beat Lab, and we used magic to get there. Anyway, this week we are going to feature the Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health live experience from Thalia Hall for the Theory and Beats segment. Since it's AC's birthday, he's off enjoying Riot Fest, and he'll be joining us next episode as the one and only AC.
That's going to be fun.
And so for right now, we're going to share with you what happened at Thalia Hall for their 2-year anniversary back on July 7th. We were lucky enough to head over there with AC and enjoy a night that was extremely entertaining, extremely educational, vulnerable, and important.
Touching.
I lost it a couple times that night. Cried that good cry that needs to happen.
Yeah, we both did.
For us to take care of ourselves instead of fighting it. So, Network, if you could bring up that next part. There it is.
Thanks for the love, y'all. Let's get it quiet for just a second, right? I want y'all to dive into the mind of somebody, right? My brother Chris is a visionary. I've been knowing him for years. Always had crazy big vision, right? And we are literally witnessed. My man just fed 7,000 families. The stuff he's doing is crazy. So let's use our imagination. Let's take ourselves to that coffee shop, right? You in the coffee shop. You Chris right now. You in his mind. He's going through. You all know his story, but he's writing some stuff down on his paper. And I want you all to just take a second. Just imagine, what was he writing? What was going on?
Right?
And I'm gonna leave y'all right there.
That's Just Steve, and Just Steve's a great poet and MC.
Raise your glasses, take this energy. I'm focused on tomorrow. They thought they finished me. Crack the window and let the dust out. You know we pronouns. I took that rough route. Mind blown. I'm in a different zone. Chicago feels it. We talking real grown. Kobe is the product. Living with this knowledge. 20 years on polish. Listen, you can follow it. Yo, brace yourself. We talking big health. Mental mind state. We chasing only wealth. Light village. Summertime feeling. We protect the children. Nothing like the healing. It's a beautiful. It's such a power feel. It's like a movie deal. You know it's all real. We talking good living. Discussing nothing else. Raise your self-esteem. Now go and follow dreams. And put together team. It's all collaboration. You got the people waiting. That's the anticipation. We hosting conversations. We got our real shaking. That whole stigma breaking. That's why we working patient. And yes, we graduated 2020. Back to basics. I'm writing season 3. I'm living season 4. We passed the basic floor.
There you are.
We got the good
Up in
business.
the hopper box.
We got the hard to finish. I run a different scrimmage. That's why my windows tinted. Tunnel vision, dreams vivid. Mentally, yo, that's why I pay a visit. We hosting conversations. We got our real shaking. The whole stigma breaking. That's why we river back. mental health one time, y'all.
I love how he waited this night up too.
You know, it's something about when you're trying to build something. You have to have people around you that love you and that support you. Self-medication, let's live it away. I'm too hyped to go to sleep. We're in a powerful space. New mode, a different code as we circle the globe. You in the front, we elevate, steady flowing in droves. Returning to the neighborhood, investing in stuff to build a home, a new school, in a grocery store. Nobody separating or hating at all. And everybody love each other, no dissonant involved. We exceed the higher heights, fly high as a kite. Stand tall, rolling. With our minds we fight, and there is no limitation.
Close the DJ house one time, yeah.
Look at that. Look at that chair. There you are.
So yeah, so
This is the
when
top
they were
portion.
doing the
Why is it
yeah,
so
the
hard for us to accept love?
discussion.
And why does it get harder and harder the older that we get?
That is such an easy question. I thought you were going to ask me something more complicated. Why is it harder to accept love? Because of fear. You're just told, hey,
Fabrice.
don't do that, because that'll hurt. Think about your work. A lot of people have learned to sustain jobs that they don't like, that they don't love. So you got a lot of people. Yeah, let's get up for shitty jobs, everybody. We're not teaching people how to find desire and how to explore that. The people who are on the cusp of learning how to approach oneself with love and openness. So it's hard at the beginning because there's just fear, and that's all you learn how to do.
Yo, y'all make some respect.
Yeah, Fabrice. Yeah, he's amazing. There's the birthday boy. Yeah. Pretty excellent. Yeah, so they're doing it September 26th again. If you want to be a part of that next one at Thalia Hall. So that's pretty cool. If you wanted to go to the Thalia Hall website, get yourself some tickets. That opera box was well worth it. We chipped in a little extra for it, and it was just nice to have that view and that like kind of that vibe. Thalia Hall is a beautiful, beautiful location. If you've not been there in Chicago and Pilsen neighborhood,
And it felt like there was a lot of room to spread out if you felt like you needed to. So.
and it's an old music house from way back in the turn of the century, and it's a beautiful place to catch a show. And not only that, but the people of Thalia Hall donated the space for their 2-year anniversary celebration that you just saw some segments from. Over the course of the night, there was entertainment and performance, but it was all meant something, you know? It was all important. And then they broke it down for that second half where they did the Psychology of Common's album B. So if you've not heard Common, another Chicago artist that has just been consistent with the love and the positivity and the intellectual approach to conscious hip hop across Common's career. And, you know, Common may be now an actor and an auteur and all these things, but Common is still an MC, a hip hop MC that can put words together in succession that are just poetic and brilliant and lovely. So if you've not listened to the masterpiece that is the album B, I would love to play it right now for y'all, but you know, we're on Twitch and we don't want to get that copyright strike. No. But listen to B by Common. If you wanted to kind of check out some new music that you've not checked out, listen to the lyrics, because that's what we were doing. The DJ would play a portion of the song, and then those lyrics would be highlighted through a discussion question with that lovely panel. And
Were they going to do that this time too?
I think so. I think there will be a lot of stuff that is similar from the first time, and then there will be some new components added to keep it fresh, because Chris, he likes to keep it fresh. That he likes to push himself and his team to do more and more. So there'll be different guests, different panelists, and things like that. But it was great to take something like music, take something like an album, a hip hop album at that people resonate with for different reasons, and then have that steer the conversation, because it demystifies and makes it less scary to talk about vulnerable matters of the heart. And those matters of the heart are very much linked to our mental health. It's just another way of looking at it, another way of talking about it. So it was really cool. They went through track by track. They went through the whole album, appreciated the album. Obviously, you can't listen to the whole album, so they were just playing little segments, and then the DJ would drop it, and they would talk. And it was great. It was moderated by a therapist that was fielding those questions. There was some audience participation and comments and additional commentary.
I know they've done stuff like that too at their shop.
They did it at the Broadway shop.
With, like, Beyonce and Jay-Z?
They did Beyonce's
separately?
Lemonade. They did Beyonce's Lemonade on one occasion, and I know that they did a Jay-Z album, and I think they even have dipped into like Kanye's stuff, and in general, they've even talked about more touchy subjects like language that is very much derogatory and misogynistic in hip hop, like hoe and bitch and stuff like that, and really given a safe space to discuss those things and talk about them with members of the community that can offer their 2 cents. And voila, you're learning together rather than just assuming you know everything. And I think that address that Chris gave in that empty Broadway space at the end of part 1 of that video was really important. What he said, he's learned a lot as a leader. He's learned when to speak up and when to be quiet. And I think those discussion events that they've been holding, and in a lot of different ways, they've done them at Ace Hotel and some other spaces, as well as their flagship store. And you can guarantee that they'll be doing a lot more of that at the new spot on Belmont when they reopen in November. And maybe they'll be hosting some at the Lululemon cafe space as well. But the important part is that they're addressing these things. They're not just keeping them shrouded in silence and stigma, because that doesn't help anybody. No one learns anything doing that. And I think that's admirable, and that's why we continue to shout them out. So since we will be on the road celebrating and trying to redeem our house trip to Lake Tahoe and her family, we won't be in town. And this was one way that we felt we could support it and try and amplify the message, sell some tickets, get some more bodies there down in Pilsen at Thalia Hall for their event next Sunday. It'll be very, very special. Check out all their social media. I will switch you now. Check out their social media. Check out Thalia Hall website for tickets, and support coffee, hip hop, and mental health however you can, however you see fit. All right, so we have about come to the end of our second episode, honey.
Cool.
How you feeling?
Good.
Feeling pretty good about it?
Yeah.
We leave town tomorrow, so we've got like tons of other things on our to-do list this afternoon to take care of, getting the pets situated. We are taking Minnie on the road with us. Minnie, you excited? Oh, yeah, she's excited. And Gandy's going to go stay with Uncle AC. Gandalf's going to go spend a little time with Uncle AC, and he's excited about it. So, lots to do. Make sure that our plants are watered up, and that our friends that are going to be taking care of our plants while we're gone, and our other kitty, Luna, are all set. And, also still have some time to chill, because
friends.
Yeah, we don't want to just like work all Sunday. Sundays for self-care too. We want to be able to put up our feet a little bit and appreciate just the wonderful time that is leisure with your loved ones, and not take it for granted. So we missed AC, but we understand that It's his birthday, and every year on his birthday, he takes off work on his birthday through Riot Fest. And
that's a good practice.
That's a good practice. That's a good boundary. And I'm always proud of AC and the boundaries that he be setting. So good job, my man. Happy birthday. I hope you had an amazing time at Riot Fest. Do you want to say anything in closing before we show them a little bit of AC's experience at Riot Fest? And say goodnight? Nothing else?
No, I think we've said a lot. So yeah, we hope that you have a safe and unstressful couple weeks.
Yeah. What do we got on the chat there? We got a happy birthday, AC.
Yeah.
Woohoo from Kigley. Thank you. And yeah, ultimately, if you like the show, the Tomorrow Show, or any of the other programming on the Hope for Us Network, tell your friends. Tell them to come subscribe. Tell them to come follow the channel. Tell them to like and follow on Instagram and Facebook, and be able
please
to spread
like
the
and
word.
subscribe, and send us any
feedback,
and
tell us
little
how we're
things
doing.
you like that we should share.
Tell us how we're doing, and share with us all those little things that help you get to tomorrow, be it music, art, whatever, pets, nature, all that stuff. And with that, we're gonna thank our showrunner today, Dan, the Network Man.
Thank you, Dan.
The Network Man. Thank you for making it happen. And we're gonna show you that last little clip of AC's Riot Fest experiences yesterday. Got to see Rancid, which I know was something he was really looking forward to for celebrating his birthday. And we will see you in a couple weeks for the next episode of The Tomorrow Show. And till then, enjoy a little music with AC, a little festival life with AC. You can roll that clip. And
yo, what's up? It's AC. I'm out here at Riot Fest. I'm having a weird hair day. I got one dread that's sticking up. I'm out here at Riot Fest. We're doing this, y'all. Feels good. Feels awesome. Lots of people. Let's have some fun, y'all.
Living